Ever since Margot Robbie stole the show in Suicide Squad, making Jared Leto look like a preening tryhard, everyone has been wondering if she can hold her own when she's on her own. When Birds of Prey was announced, everyone got very, very excited. The trailer was stylish, funny, way over the top, and best of all, set to an iconic Björk song.
And that's the scientific truth, which is much better.
All the ingredients were there, but that means nothing without a good cook. So, did Robbie pull it off? Does she have what it takes to lead one of the most iconic crews in comics history to the big screen? In short, yes. But now that she has, what is next for Harley Quinn? But first, a quick warning. We don't want to spoil too much of the movie in this video, but there are some things that we just can't avoid. So either turn back now or be ready to cover your ears. Either way, you've been warned. The most obvious path forward for Harley Quinn lies with The Suicide Squad, which is coming out in August 2021. If you heard that and thought, wait, didn't they already release a movie called Suicide Squad starring Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn? Yes, they did. But that movie was just called Suicide Squad, and this movie is called The Suicide Squad. That "the" is important. With the announcement of The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, and The Suicide Squad,
I'm Batman.
It seems like they're laying the foundation for a new DC cinematic universe, all united by the word "the." The possibilities are endless. There could be the Green Lantern, the Justice League, but what we know for sure is that there will be the Suicide Squad. So what do we actually know about it? Well, this time there will be no Will Smith and no Jared Leto. Instead, Margot Robbie will be joined once again by Viola Davis, who plays her ruthless fixer, Amanda Waller. To balance out Waller's trigger-happy by-any-means attitude, John Cena, of all people, will be playing a character called Peacemaker. He's, as you might have guessed, a pacifist. But because he's so committed to peace and non-violence, he has to use violence? There are a lot of contradictions here, just like there are with real peacekeeping missions. And it'll be interesting to see where Cena takes the character. But from what we've seen so far, it looks like he'll be leaning into his childish, naive side. And as you can see from this photo on the set, Cena is wearing Velcro shoes. This may seem strange for those of you who know Cena as a wrestler, decked out in military gear, rapping his two iconic slogans, hustle, loyalty, respect, and you can't see me. But this actually fits for John Cena, who, even though he's a wrestler, is very sincere. So sincere that he recently posted this tweet out of the blue. Love that lasts takes work. Tremendous work. Anyone who thinks differently has little perspective of the timeline and totality of existence. Don't fear love, but do not ignorantly proceed in thinking it comes without effort. He's also granted more wishes with the Make-A-Wish Foundation than anybody has ever. Putting this fresh-faced do-gooder up against the pure chaos of Harley Quinn could be the perfect match, and it bodes well for DC's future. But what about Birds of Prey? Will there be a sequel, and if there is, will Harley Quinn be in it? Margot Robbie said of the movie that the idea is really to set up the idea of the Birds of Prey. In the comics, there are tons of different comic book characters that duck in and out of the group. So the point of this is really to open that doorway and to watch the Birds of Prey start to emerge. How exactly they will do that is up in the air at this point, but it probably won't involve Harley Quinn.
I'm so fucking over clowns.
At the end of Birds of Prey, Harley pawns a diamond and drives off into the sunset with Cassandra Cain, who again we will get back to later. When they drive off, they leave behind Renee Montoya, Huntress, and Black Canary, who officially form their own crime-fighting group called the Birds of Prey. But if it seems like there's a conspicuous absence from that group, it's because there is. That's where the Batman comes in. It will introduce Robert Pattinson as charming indie Batman or vampire Batman, or maybe even assistant lighthouse keeper Batman.
I didn't sleep last night.
But wherever Pattinson decides to take the role is besides the point. What's important for our purposes are the two other Bat people that will most definitely, or at the very least probably, be introduced. And remember, the Batman, based on our theory of the cinematic universe, exists in the same universe as the Suicide Squad. They're even coming out around the same time in 2021. So it's not 100% certain, but it's a pretty safe bet that they will connect. But how? First of all, there's that missing member of the Birds of Prey, Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. She's the daughter of Commissioner Gordon and the heir to the Bat Throne. She's had a long and varied history. Her character has been around for decades, and there are lots of different versions to choose from. But if we had to guess which Barbara will make an appearance in Birds of Prey 2 or the Batman, we'd have to say Oracle. In an iconic Batman comic, The Killing Joke, which is honestly more of a Joker comic, Barbara Gordon, in her civilian clothes, gets shot by the Joker. This results in her being paralyzed from the waist down and being consigned to a wheelchair. But even though her mobility is decreased, she continues to fight crime under the name Oracle. She's got a photographic memory, very good computer training, and also a degree in library sciences. So she uses not only her fighting skills, but also her genius-level intellect to fight crime. She ended up becoming an iconic character and also a hero to the disabled community. And with the current push to get more diverse representation on screen, Oracle would be the perfect character for the future of DC. Not only because of the fact that she reps an underrepresented group of people, but also because her disability gives more depth to her character. Unfortunately though, DC unparalyzed her. In the New 52, when DC revamped most of their different series, Barbara Gordon went to South Africa to undergo an experimental procedure which ended up restoring her control over the lower half of her body. Although DC explained it away as just a way to refresh older, stale narratives, a lot of people wondered why they needed to have this fantastical cure for Gordon's paralysis. Some even viewed it as a disrespectful dismissal of the huge community of fans that had built up around this trailblazing character. But the fittingly named Bob Wayne, DC's senior VP of sales, said that the Killing Joke still happened and she was Oracle. Now she will go through physical rehabilitation and become a more seasoned and nuanced character because she had these incredible and diverse experiences. All this is to say that however Barbara Gordon is introduced into Batman or the Suicide Squad or even Birds of Prey 2, there are a lot of very interesting storylines to draw from. And then there's Cassandra Cain. In Birds of Prey, she's just a girl with pickpocketing skills and she only goes by the name Cassandra. But in the comics, she is also Batgirl. Trained by assassins as a child, she ends up gaining the trust of Bruce Wayne when she saves Commissioner Gordon's life. Remember, the Commish is Barbara Gordon's dad. Wayne takes her under his wing, and instead of mentoring her himself, he sends her to his friend Oracle to learn the ropes and to become Batgirl. At the end of Birds of Prey, Cassandra and Harley Quinn take off together after they make a bunch of cash selling a diamond. This could just mean a quick road trip or a fun little bender, which we know Harley is prone to, but it could also be the beginning of a beautiful friendship and a slight variation on the comic book storyline. Instead of being mentored and trained by Oracle, she could come up under the wing of Harley Quinn and become a sort of evil or at least less morally conscious version of the comic book character. Alternatively, Oracle could be introduced into Batman and Cassandra Cain could make her next appearance there, maybe somehow meeting up with Robert Pattinson. And speaking of meeting up with Robert Pattinson, Margot Robbie and Journey Smollett-Bell were recently bowling with him. A clip of it made its way to Instagram. And aside from the fact that this looks like the most fun anyone has ever had at a bowling alley, this is big news for fans of DC. Sure, it's not an official confirmation that the Batman and the Birds of Prey / Suicide Squad movies are connected, but it can't be a coincidence, can it? And even if it is, drinking champagne at a bowling alley seems like the perfect way to lighten up the Dark Knight, a character who is usually dull and gets overshadowed by the villain in all of his movies. And their team building at the bowling alley could end up leading to some real cat and mouse chemistry between Robbie and Pattinson, and maybe even a team up somewhere in the near-ish future. The possibilities of, as Margot Robbie says, people popping in and out of these movies is endless, and will most likely follow the template set by the MCU. But where Marvel focused on the heroes, DC's new AAA cinematic universe will probably try to position itself as the cool, quirky, criminal counterpoint to the Marvel vanilla universe. Could this really be it? Could Harley Quinn be the Iron Man that DC needs to drag itself into the present, and maybe even the future? Also, what did you think of Birds of Prey? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to ScreenRant for much, much more.